Ganito hinimas-himas ang ulo ng boksingerong ito bago isabak sa Pinoy. Pero matapos lamang ang ilang minuto sa laban ay halos hindi na makilala ang kanyang sarili na animoy na hipnotismo daw sa ibabaw ng boxing ring. Matapos bagsakan ng matinding kamao ng Pinoy. Ilan lamang ito sa mga nasampulan kung gaano katindi ang tinaguriang B.BAUTISTA. Pero sa lumipas na era kung saan walang pinipiling uri ng boksingero ang babanatan sa loob ng ring, ay ganoon kabilis na palang natapos ang pamamayagpag ng mga matitikas na laro katulad na lamang ng bakbakang Pacquiao at Barrera. Na tila ba walang kamuwang-muwang ang Mexicano kung sino ang kanyang makakalaban hanggang sa tuluyang makatikim ito at ipamuka sa ibabaw ng ring kung anong bansa ang dapat na kinakatakutan ng mga Mexicano. Ito ay walang iba kundi ang bansang Pilipinas. Kaya naman, nagkaroon ng matinding rivalry fight ang Mexico at Pilipinas. Magmula noon ay bantay sarado na ang mga Pinoy kung sino ang isusunod na pambato ng ating bansa. Oras na mamahinga ang ating nag-iisang 8th Division champ, Manny Pacquiao. Kaya naman nang matunugan ang pag-usbong ng karera ng tinaguriang Rey Boom Boom Bautista ng Bohol, ay agad itong hinasa ni Coach Freddy Roach pagdating sa estilo. Marami ang sumakay sa kinang ng pangalan nito dahil na rin sa mabilisang pag-angat ng pandaigdigang fight ranking sa boxing. Kaya naman ating panoorin kung gaano katindi ang boksingerong mabilisang hinasa ni Coach Freddy Roach para sa bakbakang Rey Boom Boom Bautista versus 90% KO artist fighter ng bansang Colombia. Sa unang round pa lang ay abante agad ang Pinoy para paliitin ang kinukuhang posisyon ng kalaban. Magandang enerhiya at masamang intensyon ang isiniwalat ni Rey Bautista sa paunang engkwentro.
Looking for it. And you know, Rich, I gotta tell you, he's one of the few Filipino fighters who is not a southpaw.
Is 31 years old, a record of 13-4-1 with 11 knockouts. So Flores barely has some power of his own. 11 of the 14 wins for Bautista have been by knockout.
A little bit like Rich mentioned earlier, bad intentions with every punch. Nice stiff jab.
That was a nice left hand that got in, and that right hand was quick and effective.
Flores seems to feel the punch.
Boys runs a really intense camp in the gym and doesn't believe in going outside the camps. Likes to stay at home there in Hollywood.
Final seconds of round one.
Nagiging maingat bumitaw ang bata ni Roach na si Rey Boom Boom Bautista dahilan upang masira ang diskarte ni Felix Flores. Kaya lalong nilamon ito pagdating sa kumpiyansa.
And Rey hoping to become the next Manny Pacquiao idol in the Philippines, and now he's beginning to open up here in the second round. Took it easy in that first round, and let's see if Flores actually trying to fight him. Whereas he was more boxing in the first round, Flores decided when Rey opened up, I am too.
And that,
He's just from the Philippines. He's from a different area, from Cebu City. And didn't
Say the truth.
Speaking of movies, Manny is quite a movie icon over there now, and he's a matinee idol as well.
the two scheduled for 8 here. These are bantamweights. And the favorite in this fight, Rey Bautista, beginning to open up, work the body.
It's around that ring pretty well, and he uses his legs in there.
That was a nice left hook by Flores. You know, both these guys are built like rocks and probably can go all night at this pace. So I'm surprised that Bautista is fighting such a disciplined
Opponent for him here this evening. No patsy put in the ring with Bautista tonight. He's a fine counterpuncher.
Good counterpuncher. I noticed that in the first round also, like Mario was talking about. He's great shape. And now he's working left-handed.
Remember him being a southpaw.
At dahil wala ring takot ang
First
kalaban sa Pinoy, buong tapang din itong nakipagpalitan ng kamao. Dahilan upang maranasan nito ang mas mabigat na patama.
Good counterpunching, as you mentioned, Rich. Uh-oh. Now it's getting down to that level. Here we go.
Each man carries 11 KOs in
That's a
it.
nice
Good left. Oh, he's wobbly.
It seemed like that one caught him on the side of the head.
Yeah, Flores is in trouble.
He's going to get the bell, though, and bail him out.
Yep. There it is.
Beautiful follow right on the button.
And it looked like Flores actually walked into that punch. And he is out of there.
Parang bagyong dinaanan at iniwang lupaypay ang nangyari sa kalaban sa tindi ng pinakawalan ni Boom Boom Bautista. Sobra-sobrang energy ang na-preserve nito, kaya halos hindi na malaman ni Flores kung anong klaseng suntok ang tumama sa kanya. Ating panoorin muli ang replay. Ganyan po katindi ang laro ni Ray Bautista sa kamay ni Coach Freddy Roach nung siya ay nag-uumpisa pa lamang ng kanyang karir sa boxing. Pagkatapos na matinding performance na ito sa kamay ni Coach Freddy Roach, naging mainit ang pangalang Ray Boom Boom Bautista sa buong Amerika, na inabangan bilang susunod na Manny Pacquiao dahil sa bilis at tindi ng performance kada laban. Kung kaya't isinabak agad ito sa WBO Super Bantamweight Title Eliminator, kung saan co-main event ito ng bakbakang Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Oscar De La Hoya, na kumita ng 7 billion pesos pagdating sa buong pay-per-view event. Di kalibre ang binangga dito ng Pinoy dahil undefeated at KO artist itong si Sergio Medina ng bansang Argentina. At dito, masusubukan ng husto kung gaano ba kahanda ang Pinoy pagdating sa WBO belt. So ito brother, WBO Super Bantamweight Title Eliminator. Pilipinas kontra sa bansang Argentina, parehong undefeated. Black trunks para kay Bautista ng Pilipinas kontra sa kapwa undefeated na si Medina na naka-white trunks, no? So take note brother, yung hawak palang belt ni Naoya Inoue, target na noon itong batang ito, yan, no? Naka-red with black trunks. So saksihan natin yung galaw at estilo nito para sa Title Eliminator.
Wide punches from Medina, while Batista's early attack has gone up the middle. Let's see if that plays into some of the drama in the next few rounds.
Batista's a very compact power puncher. In fact, both guys, instead of moving around and doing a lot of flurrying punches, they both seem to be setting up for power punches, which is a little unusual for small guys.
But we're seeing more and more of it recently, Emmanuel.
Yeah, in fact, they're scoring knockouts sometimes that equal the knockouts of the heavyweights.
In fact, we're seeing more skilled boxers in the bigger weight classes, light heavyweight, cruiserweight, and heavyweight. We're seeing more thudding punchers in the lower weight classes at the same time.
And you take away probably Latimer Klitschko, even the other heavyweights, Balboa, and recently Tony and those guys.
Boxers.
Boxers. Very seldom the guys knocking guys out.
And last night, 215-pound Eddie Chambers beat Dominic Gwynn here in Las Vegas. And there's an early attack by Medina trying to seize the initiative against Batista. And Batista a little bit slow to try to pick out opportunities to counter as Medina was firing with both hands.
Medina fighting like a kid with an undefeated record and out to show that he has earned it.
Robert Byrd warns Batista about a low blow after he hit Medina right on the right hip with a left hand.
He is definitely the underdog here to Batista.
But he doesn't feel that way. You see, he's fighting with a lot of spirit, and he's fighting as if he is the favorite in his
That's exactly
mind.
right.
And he's not fighting as an underdog, as you said, Larry. And that's what makes for a very good fight.
Batista is from the Filipino island of Cebu. That's different from Pacquiao, who is from Mindanao. When we go to Batista's corner, they'll be speaking Tagalog, and our interpreter there will be Ernie Kalua. They'll speak Spanish in Medina's corner, and the terrific Jerry Olaya will be interpreting there. Now Batista getting a range that he likes better and landing an uppercut in that flurry, and Medina, with some of his own long arm punches, backs Batista off. Good first round, sets up some real mayhem to come in the next few rounds.
Where's the towel? You doing good? Okay. Now breathe now. Everything's good? Yep. Jab, jab. Good, get your uppercut. Double shot. Keep jabbing. And then follow up to the body. Do a 1-2 combination and an uppercut.
Copy box numbers in round one. They threw an almost identical number of punches. Batista throwing 53, Medina throwing 52. Medina slightly outlanding Batista 19-16, close round, and as Manuel Stewart pointed out, neither fighter setting up a tactical approach, both looking to land big shots.
But, you know, Batista's fighting very smart. He's realizing that Medina has a tight defense that he keeps up high, but he has an opening between the gloves. So he's going to the body often to try to take advantage of the hands being high, and then he goes right between the gloves.
Yeah, you heard the trainer emphasizing the uppercut, because if Medina splits the gloves, there'll be an uppercut opportunity there. There's a terrific counter left hook by Batista that seemed momentarily to rock Medina there.
Yeah, but Medina was running in off balance out of position.
And now a hard body shot by Batista. He tries to work that uppercut, takes a right hand across the top from Medina. Comes back with 3 or 4 shots. And now this is the second warning against Batista for low blows. Robert Byrd making it clear that Boom Boom's going to have to keep him up above the waistline.
Well, we won't have that problem with Medina if this keeps going on. I haven't seen him throw a body punch yet.
Even the body punches that Bautista's landing, they're really more on the belt line. But he looks very strong inside when he punches.
Hard right hand across the top from Medina, then a left hook counter as well. Medina able to back Batista off once again with these long-armed winging shots from the outside.
But I think that...
And now Batista with a straight right hand up the middle. And once again, momentarily rocks Medina, who fights back. This is bombs away. Hard right hand by Medina. Batista walks right through it.
2 undefeated fighters who are fighting like they want to stay undefeated, each one.
Make this the main event. Won't have to worry about entertainment value at all.
Yeah, I hope that Oscar and Floyd are watching this in their dressing room.
All right, I got to stop. I got you.
Fight is scheduled for 12 rounds.
But if the fight continues the way it seems to be following the pattern of Medina going back to the ropes, it's going to just a matter of time before he's going to get caught with those short punches. But Batista is punching with much more authority and actually much shorter shots.
Yeah, that's the point. The shorter, straighter punch is usually going to win the power punches battle.
Right.
I think the body punching will ultimately be the difference. If he can break down the resistance of Medina.
He's going to the body, and then he's going right between the center.
There's a trickle of blood out of the nose of Medina as Medina begins to learn the pitfall of working from the outside with both hands against a guy who's able to take advantage of those openings straight up the middle.
And there's already a reddened lump on the side of Medina's left eye.
Another hard right hand by Batista there before Medina grabs him after a left-hand shot.
Got a bell coming. Bell.
Medina's punch is beginning to lose a little steam, and Boom Boom Batista had a big second round. Took some heavy artillery, but dealt out more.
That's it. Everything's done. Don't worry about it. All right, bring your guard up. Your guard up. He's got nothing.
Right here, you see Medina does what he normally does. He lunges in and runs in off balance when he punches, whereas Bautista usually stays good, solid balance, much better positioning.
Seconds out.
And right now, you'll see Medina coming in with a very short, I think, straight right.
Round 3 of a scheduled 12. Incidentally, despite their youth, both fighters have gone 12 rounds at one time or another in their career. So they're not charting a distance with which they're not familiar, although it's pretty rare for a fighter as young as Batista to have already had 12-round experience. He's precocious in every way, shape, and form.
But it's common from a lot of fighters from the Orient. Those kids, sometimes they start off fighting 10 rounds their first fight.
What do you think of that, Emmanuel? Do we nurse them too slowly in the United States?
Well, I think it's just tradition, whatever you're used to, and that's the standard practice over there. But a lot of those guys come from kickboxing backgrounds anyway. So they're used to going long around, so it doesn't make that much difference.
Right, so when American fighters might be fighting 3-round amateur fights, people on the Pacific Rim might be fighting 10 or 12 round kickboxing fights.
That's correct. So when they go into professional boxing, they just go 10 rounds off of the bat because it's similar to what they're used to doing anyway.
Batista ducking a left hook and then firing back. Glancing blow only. Medina kind of nods at him as if to say, all right, here we are back in our familiar position. I'm backing into my corner and you're going to stalk me.
The strength and body punches of Bautista is beginning to be seem more effective as the fight goes on. And it's a very good, strong left jab to be pushing right between the gloves.
When he lands his body shots, you hear the thud on our effects microphones that shows you he is a committed body puncher. Not the giant whack that goes with a Miguel Cotto left hook to deliver, but certainly serious body punching.
Medina is inviting the boom boom to unload on him, looking for openings, and boom boom is very happy
to accommodate
him.
And Medina is going right back. He's getting the pattern of going back to the ropes there where he's feeling more comfortable laying back there, and that's not the place to be with a short, compact puncher like.
Why would a fighter think that?
Because he still thinks he's the bigger puncher. Because in 28 previous fights, he has never faced somebody who has Medina's kind of artillery.
But it's
Batista's kind of artillery.
But it's not like if he stood in the middle of the ring, there might not be openings as well. It's not like Batista is not punching from wherever he's standing in the ring.
Well, maybe this is the way he beats people in Argentina, right, Emmanuel?
Yeah, he's a good fighter. I'm very impressed with him. I think Bautista is maybe a little bit better than he is, but for the most part, he's a good fighter. When he punches, he usually has to like run in and punch at the same time that he's rushing. And Bautista can just be in any position and get his power punches off.
Jerry Alaya, our interpreter, incidentally, tells us that the trainer and the handlers in Medina's corner are telling him to do this, telling him to loop Batista into the corner. It's not unlike what Jermaine Taylor tried to do through 12 rounds against Winky Wright, and not always to good effect in Memphis. About a half hour ago, as Oscar De La Hoya came in the back entrance of the MGM Grand Garden Arena, it was an interesting scene as hotel workers, security guards, Nevada State Police were all cheering and clapping and offering encouragement to the most popular competitor in the sport of boxing. And of course, Oscar has been fighting in Las Vegas ever since early in his career. Kind of strange to note that Oscar De La Hoya has already been a professional fighter for 15 years, ever since the magical story of 1992 in Barcelona. Will it be the last big night of what has been a spectacular career? That remains to be seen. CompuBox numbers in the third round. Batista 53 out of 175 through 3 rounds. Medina 43 of 154 through 3 rounds. Medina landing just 1 out of 15 jabs. Emmanuel pointed out it hasn't been a boxing match. It's been a slugger's contest. Harold Letterman, how do you have it through 3?
Okay, Jim. 29, 28, 2 rounds to 1. Ray Boom Boom Bautista. I tell you, Medina's fighting a funny style. He fades back into that blue corner, his own corner, motions Ray Boom Boom Bautista to come in, and then he tries to counterpunch, but Ray finishes. But it's not a good idea because Ray's hitting him too hard. Anyway, 2 rounds to 1. Bautista based on clean, effective punching.
And when Medina comes forward a lot of times, Bautista just catches it with a little short counter left hook as he runs in and gets himself off balance and wide open.
Well, we've harped on it, and at the risk of being repetitive, the giant fundamental difference that shows up in every round is Batista's shorter, straighter punches up the middle against a guy who's long-armed and tends to wing shots from the outside. And that's one of the critical differences in boxing. Can you maximize the impact of your punches by throwing them where they matter? Here it is on display once again. Medina gets a long-armed counterpunch in and another one, but Boom Boom Batista forcing him back with those solider, straighter shots.
And, you know, even though Medina catches some of those punches, you can see the power so much that even Medina's gloves are cracking into his own face from the impact of Bautista hitting him even on his gloves.
And as the fight progresses, more and more often, Medina's gloves travel a lazy outward path. And Bautista gets more and more chances to step inside and pepper him with short, straight shots.
This may be the toughest fight either of them has had. We have to say may because we haven't seen many of their fights. And so what we're looking at is to see how they deal with adversity, with fighters that you hit, and the next thing that happens is they hit you back.
And both have shown poise and composure.
That's the left hook right there again. Every time that Medina gets attacked when he starts moving forward, he leaves himself open with the left hook as he gets off balance.
En route to an 8-round decision win in El Cajon, California back in 2005, Ray Bautista did taste the canvas against Gerardo Espinoza. So if Medina were able to knock him down with one of those left hooks or right crosses, it wouldn't be the first time Bautista's been down. We don't know whether Medina's ever been down.
That's all. That's all.
And about 20 minutes after Oscar De La Hoya had entered the arena, his foil, his rival, the other side of tonight's passion play drama, Floyd Mayweather. Utterly confident as always in the town in which he lives and trains. Mayweather walking in with his 2 little boys, his extremely loyal manager Leonard Ellerby, visible over Floyd's left shoulder in the sunglasses there. And the Mayweather entourage, relatively small upon entry into the arena. In real life, when he goes to a nightclub, he takes an army, but he understands how to minimize the distraction on fight day. Floyd Mayweather, quite adamant in saying to us yesterday, just another fight. This is what I do. And the facial expression there says it all about the enforced composure of an extremely professional prize fighter.
Which he showed in that fight with Zab Judah when a riot broke out in the ring in the middle of the fight because of some fouls, and he went to a neutral corner and watched it unfold and never let himself get caught in the emotion of that moment.
Exactly right. If at the height of the melee there were 30 people in the ring, the calmest of the 30 was Floyd Mayweather.
Stop, let him up.
You can see that Ray Bautista has made his point with short, straight power punches as Medina is way more at pains now to cover up in preparation for those assaults. And perhaps they've decided in Medina's corner now that it might be a good idea to try to stand in the middle of the ring a little bit more often and get away from the pattern of backing into the corner.
Medina's got very fast hands himself when he does it. But he has a run in when he punches, but he's got very fast hands.
Emmanuel, what can you see in Medina that he's competing with a young prodigy here, and yet he's never been out of Argentina? We don't know any of the fighters he's fought, and he's standing there and holding his own against Bautista.
I am very impressed with him. I think Bautista is one of the best prospects in the world. But right now, Medina, to never have came to any place like this, especially Vegas, he's fighting a tremendous fight.
Well, it's just part and parcel of what we're seeing more and more all over the world. Boxing is rapidly globalizing. You cannot discount anyone from any country just because you may not have seen them or the people that they're with. They are starting to learn earlier and better everywhere around the planet.
And I have to say that a lot of them have better fundamentals than we have here in America. And a lot of the kids, like this particular, are very tough mentally.
Huge left hand by Bautista there, and Medina perhaps more hurt than at any time in the fight. Another left hook by Bautista, bombing away over the top with the right hand. And a very competitive Sergio Manuel Medina backs him off one more time and keeps fighting.
And there's a cut on the left eye of Bautista.
And this is going to be a 1-point deduction against Boom Boom as he got in a low blow in the wild flurry. So there's a help to Medina, and the rest certainly doesn't hurt either.
Yeah,
Boom Boom is starting to sense the kill.
Yeah, and a young fighter who got overexcited when he thought he had a chance to do some serious damage.
Cut over the left eye of Bautista, as Larry Merchant pointed out. Could have come from a right cross from Medina. Could have come from head contact, too. Good left hook by Medina, backs Bautista off. And Bautista momentarily wobbling.
I think seeing that blood has suddenly energized Medina.
Sit down. Take it easy. Wash it.
In and out, lagi ayaw pag-kuha niya.
When he's go in and out when he's in the corner.
Ha?
Here we see the uppercut here, which was a great punch fight, one of the best punches of the fight. And then right after that, a moment later, we see the left hook that I would not have gave a warning for, but that was a judgmental call. It was low, but it was on the top part of the cup, which meant it wouldn't do any serious damage. But it was officially a low blow. But the referee's decision was to take a point.
The cut, incidentally, according to the commission, was caused by an accidental headbutt. I don't recall seeing that butt.
No, but they were in close quarters with a lot going on, so it's certainly plausible that that could be the reason. CompuBox numbers in round 5. Bautista 24 out of 63, including 23 out of 42 power shots. That's more than half. That means he's doing damage. Medina 19 out of 75. Medina's response to being tagged several times was to keep swinging and swinging hard. Got a fighter's instinct in a very big way.
Medina's a very tough guy. I would like to see him fight again, regardless of whether he wins or loses tonight. Very good fighter.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Emmanuel. I mean, he looks like he's a little bit out-strengthed here, a little bit outclassed by a more experienced, even if he's a younger fighter. But he's shown us something that warrants bringing him back.
Well, not necessarily more experienced, just better experienced.
Well,
I mean, Bautista has fought a higher caliber of opposition coming in.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And don't forget, Bautista's fought in Las Vegas and in the United States quite a few times. So he's mentally very comfortable.
And he just wound up spending, incidentally, 3 weeks in San Juan, Puerto Rico with Freddie Roach and Oscar De La Hoya in De La Hoya's camp preparing for this fight. He's a part of that Hollywood gym scene where Pacquiao hangs out and where Freddie Roach does his business.
And he's very international. He's been traveling. He's very comfortable fighting anywhere and training anywhere.
And incidentally, Bautista's working on learning English because he full well recognizes that if he wants to be a star in America, that's the way to do it.
What does it mean to a young fighter?
Yes! Over there! Over there!
Perfect counter left hook.
3,
And Medina was lunging right
5,
into it.
6, 7, 8. You okay? Go, box.
Medina kind of smiling because he thinks he was more thrown than hit. But the bottom line is Bautista's timing couldn't have been better.
I was about to ask Emmanuel, what do you think it means to young fighters to be on a major event like this?
Oh, I mean, it means everything. You know, the biggest fight in the history of the world, which this will end up being with the viewership as well as money. And to be able to be on this and in Las Vegas, it's a lot. I mean, it means everything.
Well, a lot of fans who may be only vaguely aware of Manny Pacquiao are now getting a greater sense than ever of the rising tide, which is Filipino professional boxing.
Mainly because of Manny Pacquiao's great success.
And acceptance by American boxing.
And Latino boxing fans. Pacquiao greatly beloved and respected now in Mexico after his 2 destructions of Eric Morales and a similar destruction of Marco Antonio Barrera.
We're losing it. Understand? We're losing it because you're against the ropes. You're holding on. The only way that you can win is to bring your guard up, exchange punches, protect yourself. Break it, bend at the hip. Come on. That wasn't hit.
When he hits the corner, go one step back, but then go in and out. Do your punches, 1, 2 to the body, then try an uppercut. Then move back again.
That was the perfect counter left hook shot that produced the knockdown. Here's another look, Emmanuel.
Right here, you see the left uppercut fitted, which produced a knockdown. It was more of a off balance, and the bodies was all entwingled up at the same time. I don't think it was really a devastating punch.
Oh, no, he's hitting with a lot harder shots than that.
Yeah, it was just a balanced position.
Just the timing and the fact that Medina was off balance, and Harold had to have it through 6.
Okay, Jim, 58, 54, 4-1, and 1 even, Ray Bautista. Jim, I want to talk about headbutts for a minute. If a referee sees blood, the only one that can call whether it's a headbutt or a punch is the referee. He can't ask the commissioner, he can't ask the judges, he can't ask anybody. In this case, Robert Byrd, the referee, said that Bautista's cut was caused by an accidental headbutt. The commission here in Nevada holds up a sign that says accidental headbutt, so, you know, we know what happened. But the referee is the only one that can call it. There are certain states like California where the referee can ask the judge, but not here. 4-1, 1 even, Ray Bautista.
Medina, every time he punches, he gets off balance. So he punches and gets his legs all twisted up. So he may get knocked down at any time the way that he throws his punches. Whereas Bautista has much better balance. Almost bad balance again.
Yeah, Bautista has that truly solid base.
Yes.
In fact, to be honest, even Pacquiao could learn something from the way Bautista sets his feet.
Yes, much better balance than Pacquiao.
I'll take Pacquiao the way he is.
Wouldn't everybody? Manny Pacquiao, the number 2 pound-for-pound fighter in the world by most estimates. And now another head contact. No blood for Medina, although he was anticipating there might be blood because of the pain on his forehead. Maybe there's a little trickle of blood now, just above the left eye. Yes, indeed. Small pinhole cut that's starting to open.
Oh, Bautista ran into a right hand and was really stunned.
Bautista's in trouble here. Bautista's in big trouble.
2, 3.
And Bird's going to say that it was a knockdown because the ropes were holding him up.
Yeah, it was a knockdown officially. If it wasn't for the ropes, he would have went down.
And that may have saved
Bautista, exactly.
Yeah.
Gave him a moment to clear his head.
Standing up.
He was in big trouble there.
But Medina's going to go right after him again. If Medina pushes when he goes forward, he's pushing all of his punches at the same time.
Medina was down. He was not dazed, but Bautista looked like he was hurt by that punch.
Now right hand to the body and a left hook upstairs momentarily stops the damage for Bautista.
But Medina's still hurt.
There's another big left hook from Medina that lands, and Bautista is still wobbly on his feet.
This is a Rocky boom fight.
Medina a little slow going for the kill right here. He may not realize how badly hurt Bautista still is. 10 seconds left in the round. Bautista trying to survive one of his worst moments as a professional. It all changed so rapidly, as can often be the case when 2 punchers are going after each other.
And 2 undefeated fighters, too.
Put more Vaseline.
Taas lagi mo wala. Ha? Ha?
Keep your hands up. Control your 1-2.
Right here you see Medina land a short right-hand lead that Bautista never even saw. And he's hurting while he's wobbling and trying to get himself together. Medina starts coming to him with straight punches. And if it wasn't for him, which I was glad that he did hold on to the rope and got a standing 8 count, I think the fight would have been over with. Medina would have won by knockout.
Robert Byrd with a good call, recognizing there that Bautista was holding the rope to keep himself up. Power shots in the 7th round. Medina landed 19 out of 56, throwing a lot after he got Bautista in trouble. Bautista was only 13 of 25 in power shots in the round, but he's still landing more than half of them. even though that was his most dangerous round of the fight.
Stop, guys. Stop.
And I guess both guys have got a knockdown score trip, so they've had a 10-8 round apiece, so that should pretty much balance out on
And
terms of
Batista
knockdown.
lost a point because of low blows. So the ruling quotient goes in favor of Medina so far.
You know, this undercard was perhaps rightly criticized as not having enough junior star power, but this fight has already put that argument to rest. People come for a night at the fights and want to see the main event live up to what it's supposed to be, but you also want to see something else. And this is a real fist fight.
And this has turned dramatically in the last round and a half in favor of Medina.
Medina's coming in and using his feet, totally turning the fight around.
Suddenly it's Batista who has to worry about whether he'll fade down the stretch in a 12-round fight. Medina's getting the better of him. And incidentally, Batista's never had a knockout past the 6th round. Medina has had late knockouts, one in the 8th, one in the 10th. So his confidence is rising for good reason at this moment.
Good uppercuts.
But Batista still seems to be hurt. He still seems he hasn't been really recuperated seemingly.
He's in danger of going if Medina can catch him with another big counter shot. On the other hand, Batista's choosing punches well in this round.
On this side. Let's go.
Heard Robert Byrd talking to the officials table on the other side about the source of the cut outside Batista's right eye.
Batista's legs seem to be a little bit unsteady now. When Medina, the same thing I was criticizing him for, is being effective for him. He shoots those little straight punches and just runs straight forward.
And Batista being bothered by the blood around his eyes.
Yep.
So I'm rubbing it with the glove moments ago. Ray Batista trying to keep his composure and keep his perfect record against a fighter who has never been out of Argentina before, but won 28 straight fights there. Prior to coming here to Las Vegas for his first trip out of country. Between them, they've combined for 50 consecutive wins. Somebody's always going to go in what has become a slugfest supreme.
Batista's winning this round again simply because he's outworking Medina. Even though he seems to be a little wobbly in his legs, he's still very aggressive.
Made better choices about when and where to throw punches in that round. June 6th, something different. HBO pay-per-view presents Nextel Prelude to the Dream, a race featuring Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon, and a lineup of top drivers racing on dirt in support of Victory Junction charity. June 9, our next boxing pay-per-view. Welterweight champ Miguel Cotto facing Zab Judah in what many expect to be Cotto's toughest test to date. Maybe it won't be his toughest test if he's able to dominate Judah, as some think he will, but at the very least, he's fighting a very high-profile opponent in high-profile circumstances in Madison Square Garden. And Judah, outrageous as usual, says, hey, the Latin fans are going to be on my side that night.
Why?
It was a good question, Larry. You'll have to ask Zab. Power shots in the 8th round. Batista 8 out of 30. Medina 25 out of 73. Medina with a 45-26 edge in power shots in the last 2 rounds. But Medina also threw jabs in that round, and as Emmanuel Stewart pointed out, seemed to be beginning to get his legs back by the end of the round. Let's see which trainer can get the most out of his fighter in the last 4 rounds of a 12-round battle.
This is a tough fight for both of these guys. And if you work in either corner, you got to be nervous because both guys have hurt the other guy, but more so Batista's been hurt the most, I would say.
Next month, Boom Boom Batista turns 21. Already got a lot of experience under his belt.
Tough kid, too.
Well, we're seeing something of him and how he's going to deal with adversity in the future against better known and perhaps better opponents. This is an interesting test for a young fighter.
What looked at first like a case of nerves on the part of Sergio Manuel Medina yesterday turns out to have been real confidence.
No,
all that swagger was born of real self-belief.
No, he's a tough fighter. I've been very impressed with him. You know, especially considering the fact that, you know, he's never fought outside of his country. And it seems like he's maybe getting a little fatigued himself.
Well, where we have been fooled with South American fighters is they come here 28-0 with 26 knockouts, and then it turns out that they get into the ring with somebody who has some schooling, and the knockout record is meaningless. This kid didn't come here as a knockout artist. He came here as a boxer fighter, and he's showing he's competitive, he's tough, he's willing.
And he believes he's supposed to win. Just as Batista believes he's supposed to win.
10 years back was a guy named Carlos Monzon that came here fighting. Our fighter we thought was the best, a guy named Nino Benvenuti. And we thought the record was just a fabricated record, but it turned out to be the real thing.
Stop.
Monzon went on to one of the greatest records ever in the middleweight division. He was from the Pampas, north of Buenos Aires. Medina is from a town named Salta, about 225 miles south of Buenos Aires. Or do I have it the other way around? Do I have it the wrong way, Larry?
No, I believe that
I'm right.
You're right in the direction. I don't know about the mileage.
Time, that's all. Whoa. Go.
Well, via the HBO reality series De La Hoya Mayweather 24/7, you've spent a lot of time in the dressing room and private circumstances of Floyd Mayweather the past several weeks, and you can see that Mayweather is having a good time watching the fights. Floyd is a boxing fan. You go to any big fight, you expect to see him at ringside, and you expect to see him enjoying himself because he genuinely appreciates the other competitors in the sport and appreciates when he sees toughness in the ring, and surely Floyd is enjoying the toughness that's being exhibited by both Batista and Medina in this battle.
Come on, listen up. Bring your guard up. Go in, march in. He's scared of you. He's scared of your punches. But if you let him come in, block his punches. Block his punches and counter.
CombiBox numbers through 9 rounds are extremely close. Batista 151 out of 498, 30%. Medina 146 out of 551, 26%. Harold Letterman, how do you have it?
Look at Jim, 5-3, 1 even, 85-83, Ray Bautista. Jim, I gotta tell you, he needed that 9th round badly because that fight was getting very, very close. In round 5, Bautista loses a point on a low blow. In round 7, he loses a point when he got knocked down. You know, that became a 10-8 round. In round 8, he got beat up. He lost that round 10-9. So Medina was making it very close. The 9th round was crucial. Bautista won it. He goes ahead 85-83.
I have the fight 5-3 and I'm sorry, 5-2 and 2 rounds even. It was 1 round even because of point deduction. Another one because I didn't know who won the round.
Bottom line is the fight may well be on the table coming to these last 3 rounds. Great competitive experience for 2 young fighters trying to make an impression
No.
before the largest slice of the public by which they've ever been seen. Good counter right hand by Batista as once again Medina got out of balance.
Got out of balance.
Stop.
I believe this is an elimination contest of some kind where the winner will move into a position for a title shot.
For the WBO championship.
Okay.
WBO junior featherweight championship.
Isn't that a title that was once held by Prince Nassim Hamed?
Yes, but Nash had the featherweight.
Featherweight title.
Yes. And they're fighting like they're fighting for a spot to fight for a championship.
They know.
It's a very tough fight.
There's no give up in either guy.
Right
And
now,
now this is the pattern of the early part of the fight, where Medina backs into his own corner and Batista gets a chance to hit him with straight shots.
it has become now a test of will.
This is the way Medina looked in the 4th, 5th, and 6th rounds when he was taking control of the fight.
Whoa.
That was a great body shot. Medina felt that body shot, and he is a little bit limper as he goes back into the corner this time. And now Medina gasping for breath over the shoulder of Batista. Good straight counter left hand by Medina as Batista was starting to walk in. Batista trying to land one big right hand shot, which will discourage Medina once and for all.
Bautista, more than just a pretty face and a good-looking fighter.
He's a tough guy.
What a warrior round that was.
And he seems to have gotten his second win now.
2 more rounds.
1 more round. You did well.
2 more rounds. Umana bang waton? Yung last corner siya, back up, one step back.
When he's in the corner, go back in and out. In and out. Put your combinations in.
Ha?
Take it easy.
Maura na. Siya pa atrasa. Ha?
Yeah.
Kontrol mo dua.
You control. Try to back up.
Ha? Ato ala ni Noy. Last 2.
What's wrong? What's bothering you? Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. You can do it. Go on, wake up. I want you to win. I want you to win. That's what I want. I want you to win. Come on, you can win. Do you hear me? You can do it. Come on. Glide the tiger.
This is not about technique for the last 2 championship rounds.
And it seems there that Medina's corner may be worrying a little bit about his will. That was a pep talk in the last 30 seconds prior to Medina's re-entry.
I gathered that too. And in addition to that, I think fatigue is setting in a little bit more now as the fight is going on.
Well, this is where the body attack over the course of a fight will show up.
Tommy box numbers in the 10th. It's a big round for Batista. 29 out of 66. Medina was 17 out of 82. And you heard Medina's cornermen trying to encourage him to lift his spirits. Stay in there.
So far for this part of the round, he's actually winning the round, I think.
I don't think they ought to be worried about his competitiveness. I'd be telling him to try to keep his shots a little bit straighter and tighter so that he doesn't get countered so much by Batista.
Whatever happens in this fight, I don't think he'll be limited to fights in Argentina from now on.
You're good. You're good. Good.
Well, South America will be looking for new boxing heroes in the wake of last weekend's demise for Acelino Freitas of Brazil.
And Valdemir having lost to Mayweather.
But of course, rapidly on the rise is Edison Miranda of Colombia, and you'll be seeing him on the 19th of May. Perfect right-hand shot. That could be the decisive moment in the fight.
7.
Medina's been getting tired in the last 2 rounds, you could see it. Even when they came out this round throwing punches, they were not as crisp as they were in the beginning.
This is another knockdown that was as much about balance as it was about the power of the shot. Batista has landed harder punches than that one, but when they're properly timed against a guy who's leaning in and who's a little bit iffy on his feet, as Medina can sometimes be, you get that effect. Obviously, Medina's worried right now, the way he's circling away.
See the difference now. Medina is hurt. You see how Bautista is like an animal, chasing him down, where Medina didn't fully take advantage of his opportunity when Bautista was hurt. Now, Batista's going to go all out to try to finish him off. He's not going to sit back and wait the way Medina did with him.
Trying to get his arms free to throw an uppercut there. Medina making it difficult for Batista to find him as he tries to regain his head and his legs. And the competitiveness of Medina begins to surface again as he decides to plant his feet and see if he can throw a punch or two. And Bautista shows him respect. Another good counter left hook inside by Bautista. And a big right hand by Bautista. Once again, momentarily wobbles Medina. A huge 11th round for Boom Boom.
Come on, you see, he's building his confidence. You gotta take advantage of that. Close him up. You good? I'm okay. Is your head hurt? Is your head hurt? No, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Here you see Bautista just throwing a looping, sweeping right hand. It just happened to be bad positioning from Medina. Good knockdown, but he recuperated from it very well. A tremendous punch.
So Bautista has knocked Medina down twice. Medina knocked Bautista down once. Bautista also had a point deducted for low blows. All of that evens out. Who has won the rest of the fight? We'll find out in 3 minutes if they go the distance in the 12th.
Stop.
Tremendous learning experience for two extremely competitive, hard-punching, young junior featherweights.
Yeah, they're scoring more knockdowns than a lot of the heavyweights scoring fights nowadays.
It's been a crowd-pleasing bout. First step towards satisfaction for perhaps a record pay-per-view buying audience. All-time record for most buys for a non-heavyweight pay-per-view show. 1.4 million for Oscar De La Hoya versus Felix Trinidad. Everyone anticipates that that record falls tonight. Question becomes, does the meter go past 1.99 million, the heavyweight pay-per-view buy record?
Whoa. Watch your head, son. Watch your head. Let's go.
Did they have a betting line on that?
I mean, in Britain, I'll bet they did. Maybe not here in the United States, although it's one of the most interesting statistics of the evening. Medina not doing enough here in the 12th round to turn anybody's impression around if Bautista is the leader in the clubhouse coming in. You can't fault Medina for his competitiveness throughout the bout, but coming down the stretch, Bautista seems to have made his point.
Yeah, Bautista's punches are still more accurate, and Medina's punches are a little sloppy now. He's just looping his punches, but he's still competitive.
Stop.
As I mentioned before, both fighters have gone 12 rounds prior to this in their careers, despite their tender years. 20-year-old against a 25-year-old. And coming in, 28-0 record for the Argentine fighter, 22-0 record for the Filipino fighter. But once again, somebody loses, most likely, for the first time. Unless it's a draw, and at this point, Bautista isn't thinking that he's heading toward a draw.
Whoa, stop. Come on, turn around. Let's go.
The second time Medina was extremely bothered by a clash of heads.
The two guys, the way they fight, their heads just collide every time they go through an exchange.
They're both lunge forward punches.
They both go forward.
I got you.
10 seconds left in the fight. One last counter shot.
Nakuha ni Ray Boom Boom Bautista ang matinding unanimous decision win para talunin ang undefeated Argentinian fighter. Kung kaya't dediretso na ito upang labanan ang hari-harian noong si Daniel Ponce de Leon, ang isa sa pinakakinatatakutan ng 122 pounds division super bantamweight. Unang round ay nagmistulang bully agad ang 122 pounds WBO champion na si Ponce de Leon. Ngunit sinisikap naman itong palagan ng ating pambato. Huwag po tayong kukurap sa mabilisang tagpo ng pakbakan.
5-0. When the bell finally rings for someone like Bautista, worked his career to get into a world title fight. That's probably the first ever world title fight. Good going well. He's taking his time, realizing this is the first time. Ponce de Leon has landed a couple left in Bautista.
palitan at pagiging veterano sa mga labanan. Magandang timing ang nalasap ng Pinoy kaya't dinanas nito ang masakit na kauna-unahang talo sa kanyang karir. Maya first round TKO. Tumatak ito sa kanya at ninais balikan si Ponce. Pero dahil umangat na ito ng timbang, isa sa mga angkan ni Barrera ang napiling paglaanan ng paghihiganti nang hinugnang si B.BAUTISTA. Eto na po ang bakbakang Bautista versus Barrera.
Marco Antonio Barrera, sabi niya sa akin, second cousin siya ng sikat na boxer mula Mexico. Nakatira siya sa Mexico, doon nag-training, mahabang kanyang biyahe dito sa Pilipinas, pero sabi niya nakarecover naman siya this week. Boom, boom on the attack.
Taking them on the gloves or on the forearm. Good left carry by Barrera. Boom, boom, fighting back.
Oh,
Good.
nice fight there from Boom Boom.
Barrera.
What an exchange!
He's slugging it out.
This is round one.
Yun ang problema ni Boom Boom. Good left by Barrera. Good left to the side of the body.
Ang kalaban. Oh?
There goes the bell. End of the round. They exchange punches after the bell. Barrera goes left.
Body
Boom Boom
shot.
tried to come back.
Oh, wow.
Good hard right by Boom Boom that time. Barrera trying to work to the body. But cracked by Boom with a good right hand. Another good right hand by Bautista. You know, Bautista. Cracking combination. Barrera was Chicano sa Filipino. Oh, cracking right on the left by Boom Boom. Another good right hand by Boom Boom Bautista.
You don't want to get it.
Hard right by Barrera, but he walked into a right hand from Boom Boom.
Boom Boom took it.
Yeah, Boom Boom took it.
In the crowd is shouting.
Hard right to the body by Bautista. Good left hook. He uses with the right. Barrera working to the body. Boom Boom covering up. Hard left by, right by, and Barrera says, come on, but he's getting bloodied.
This is like war, man.
Good right uppercut again by Barrera took. Good right, tackles Barrera. Another good left by Boom Boom Bautista. Then a right to the body. You know this supposed to be Boom Boom. He's varying his punches in this particular fight.
Because si Barrera's all out, todo bigay, kahit anong mangyari, di ba?
There goes the well-calculated battle. Good double up by Boom Boom. He caught into the left. He hurt Barrera. Another cracking left hook by Boom Boom.
Dugo pa rin, duguan ang ilong ni Barrera.
Good right hand by Bautista. Left hook and a snap. He's wobbled. He tells Boom Boom to come on. Sabi niya, come on. His left jab he's got a lot of sting. Good left hook again. The left hook is the one that's really hurting Barrera.
Did a lot of rounds of sparring with heavier opponents. This is round 3. Scheduled for 10. Laban sa featherweight division. 10 rounds.
Good fight. He stands up.
Oh my gosh.
Barrera is in trouble and is running away. Boom Boom chasing him. Hits him.
Sa kanyang pagbabalik at pagiging hinog sa karera, ay pinarusahan nito ang isa rin sa pinagmamalaking boksingero nila Marco Antonio Barrera. Ito ang nagsilbing paniningil ni Boom Boom Bautista bago matapos ang kanyang karir sa boxing. Bagamat umani si Boom Boom na mga pagtuligsa, ay alam mo bang pinasok nito ang pagmimilitary upang magserbisyo sa bayan? Kaya naman para sa ating katanungan, pabor ka ba na nagsundalo ito kaysa sa pagboboxing? Muli, maraming salamat sa pag-like at pag-share nitong video na ito. Palagi ka sana mag-ingat, ka brother!